Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Bala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 41.
Bhagavad Gita as it is, by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, chapter 10, text 41. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Purport: any glorious or beautiful existence should be understood to be but a fragmental manifestation of Krishna's opulence, whether it be in a spiritual or material world. Anything extraordinarily opulent should be considered to represent Krishna's opulence. Text 42. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I forbade and support this entire universe. Purport: the Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universes by His entering into all things as the Super Soul. The Lord here tells Arjuna that there is no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. You should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as Super Soul. From Brahma, the most gigantic entity, on down to the smallest ant, all are existing because the Lord has entered each and all and is sustaining them. Worship of demigods is discouraged herein because even the greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiva only represent part of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. He is the origin of everyone born, and no one is greater than Him. He is Samata, which means that no one is superior to Him and that no one is equal to Him. In the Vishnu mantra, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, becomes at once an atheist. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansion of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Sri Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all-pervading by the expansion of His partial representation, the Super Soul, who enters into everything that is. Pure devotees, therefore, concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verses 8 to 11. That is the way of pure devotional service. How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Text 8. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Purport: a learned scholar who has studied the Vedas perfectly and has information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya and who knows how to apply these teachings can understand that Krishna is the origin of everything in both the material and spiritual worlds, and because he knows this perfectly, he becomes firmly fixed in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. He can never be deviated by any amount of nonsensical commentaries or by fools. All Vedic literatures agrees that Krishna is the source of Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods. In the Atharma Veda, it is said, it was Krishna who in the beginning instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. Then again it is said, then the Supreme Personality Narayan desires to create living entities. Again, it is said, from Narayan, Brahma is born, and from Narayan, the patriarchs are also born. From Narayan, Indra is born. From Narayan, the 8 Vasus are born. From Narayan, the 11 Rudras are born. From Narayan, the 12 Adityas are born. It is said in the same Vedas, the son of Devaki, Krishna, is the Supreme Personality. Then it is said, in the beginning of the creation, there was only the Supreme Personality Narayan. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no fire, no moon, no stars in the sky, no sun. There was only Krishna who creates all and enjoys all. In the many Puranas it is said that Lord Shiva was born from the highest, the Supreme Lord Krishna, and the Vedas say that it is the Supreme Lord, the creator of Brahma and Shiva, who is to be worshipped. In the Moksha Dharma, Krishna also says, the patriarch, Shiva and others are created by me. Though they do not know that they are created by me because they are deluded by my illusory energy. In Varaha Purana it is also said, Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him Brahma was born, from whom Shiva was born. Lord Krishna is the source of all generations, and called the most efficient cause of everything. He says that because everything is born of me, I am the original source of all. Everything is under me. No one is above me. There is no supreme controller other than Krishna. One who understands Krishna is such away from a bona fide spiritual master and from Vedic literature who engages all his energy in Krishna consciousness becomes a truly learned man. In comparison to him, all others who do not know Krishna properly are but fools. Only a fool would consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. A Krishna-conscious person should not be bewildered by fools. He should avoid all unauthorized commentaries and interpretations on Bhagavad Gita and proceed in Krishna consciousness with determination and firmness. Text 9.
Text 9. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. Purport. Pure devotees, whose characteristics are mentioned here, engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. The symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself, and in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Once situated in that transcendental position, they can relish the highest perfection, which is exhibited by the Lord in his abode. Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to the sowing of a seed in the heart of the living entity. There are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe, and out of them, there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that seed fructifies, just as the seed of a tree fructifies with regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahmadoiti effulgence in the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky also that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. Gradually, as a plant grows fruits and flowers, that plant of devotional service also produces fruits, and the watering process in the form of chanting and hearing goes on. This plant of devotional service is fully described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is explained there that when the complete plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one becomes fully absorbed in love of God. Then he cannot live even for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord, just as a fish cannot live without water. In such a state, the devotee actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. The Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narration about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the devotees. In this narration, there is nothing about material activities, sense gratification, or liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. Thus, the realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continued pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl take pleasure in association. I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual teacher, the God Guru Srila Swarupananda Paramahamsa. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai
Haribo, Nitai
Gaur,
Gaur, Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribol.
Haribo.
Haribol.
Thank you.